today we'll do problems on cash book. So this is the first problem. I'm doing sums on 3-column cash book. So this is how the 3-column cash book will look like. You will have two sides, debit and credit, date, receipt, cash payment, bank and discount, and date payments, cash, bank and discount columns. Now on the debit side, we record all the receipts. Whenever money comes in, the receipt, money coming in should be debited. And whenever money goes out, should be credited. It's real account rule. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. And this is cash book. So we need to, this is your cash book. Okay. So debit what comes in, credit what goes out rule we'll have to apply. This is how it works. Debit side we take all the receipts and credit side we take all the payments. So let's just start with the first transaction. The first transaction basically says opening balance of cash rupees 3000. So opening balance we always take on the debit side. So on 1/1/2016, okay, it is by, sorry, from the debit side, so we write to balance carried down, brought down, sorry. So we are getting down the balance. So opening balance of cash is 3000, and if you see the next transaction, bank balance is 4000 on the same date. So that is nothing but opening balance of bank, which is 4000 on the same date. Nothing in the discount column we are writing. So as soon as you start the business or the new month or the new year, you'll have to consider that opening balance on the debit side, because that's the balance brought down from the previous month or the previous year. Now the next, rent paid by check rupees 2000. So now we'll go on the payment side because we are paying it. So payment side, on 4th January, what are we paying? We are paying rent. So we write here by rent. And how you are paying it? You are paying it by check. That means the bank will pay it. So 2000 rupees you will take in the bank column, and money is going out from the bank. Next, on 6th January, received on account of cash sales rupees 3000. Received, so on the receipt side, on 6th January, why you have received? Because you have sold. So two sales on account of cash sales you are receiving. It is cash sales, so that means you will receive cash. So in the cash column, 3000 rupees. Paid to Mehta by check rupees 2000, earned a discount of rupees 200. Paid, so we'll go on the payment side, that's the credit side. The date is 8th January, and to whom you are paying? To Mehta. So by Mehta, how much are we paying? 2000 rupees. And how are we paying? We are paying it by check. So check means we are paying it through bank. So we pay 2000 rupees to Mehta, and we are earning a cash discount of 200. So in the discount column, we will take 200 on the credit side, because discount earned is an income, and the nominal account rule says debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. So discount earned is an income. The next, received from Suresh. Now previous was paid, so I took on the payment side. Now we're receiving, so we'll take it on the receipt side. Received from Suresh, how much? The date is 10. So first we have received from Suresh, so to Suresh, and we are receiving 2000 rupees. Again we are receiving a check. So in the bank column, I'll enter the 2000 rupees, and we allowed him discount of 100. So in the discount column, 100 rupees, the discount that we are giving to Suresh. The next transaction is on 12th of January. Cash sales rupees 20,000. When you sell goods, you receive cash. So it will come on the receipt side. And why you're receiving? Because you sold goods. So two sales, 20,000 rupees. So this is cash sales amount that we are taking in the cash column, because we are doing cash sales. Okay. Now the next one, 20,000 rupees is cash sales. 20th January, cash purchases rupees 50,000. So when you purchase, what you do? You make payment. I have purchased goods and I have to pay money now. So on the payment side, I will write by purchases. Why we are paying? Because we have purchased goods. And it is cash purchases. So in the cash column, 15,000 rupees you're going to pay. Next, the last one, salaries paid 5,000. So it will be again on the payment side, 31st January. By salaries, we are paying 5,000 rupees. They are not told by check, so we usually take it in the cash column. So this is the cash book that we have prepared. Now what we'll do is we will total all the columns. So I'll write the total here above. 26,000 is the cash column total. Highest side total you should write on both the sides. So here it is 26, here it is 20. So highest is 26. I'll write it on both the sides. And then 6,000 is the total of bank column and 100 of discount column. So now we'll write this total again here 26, 6, and now discount side here it is 200. We'll write it 200. Discount column we are not balancing, only the cash and the bank column we will balance. So this is the total that we have. I'll make it red in color so that you understand that this is the total. Now we have received 26,000. Out of that we have paid 20,000. So 26,000 minus 15,000 minus 5,000. So remaining balance is 6,000. We have received 6,000 in the bank account and we have paid 4,000. So the balance is 2,000. So we call it as by balance carried down. And this happens on the last day of the month, that is 31st January. And on the next line, we will write 1st February to balance brought down the same amount that we are carrying down, we get it down, and that is 6,000 and 2,000. So from here below, if February data was given, I would have started the cash book for February. So they've asked you to do it for Jan, and this is how we actually solve the cash book problems. Let's do one more sum. This was a very easy sum just to make you understand the basics of cash book. Now we'll take a sum which is a little technical or has certain entries like contra entries and all those we will learn from this problem. Okay, so let's just draw a cash book for this as well. So here is the cash book. So first transaction. Cash in hand 1,000, cash at bank 15,000. So both are on 1st January. So I'll write here to balance brought down on 1st January. So 1 cash in hand was 1,000 and cash at bank was 15,000. So we write 15,000. And discount column it is nil. Okay, let's see the next transaction. Both were on 1st Jan. If you want, you can write 2 times, 2 balance brought down, 2 balance brought down. But even if you write once and enter in the respective columns, it would be right. 3rd Jan received from Mohan and allowed him discount. So how much we have received? 12,850. And how much discount? 150. Now we have received, so it will go on the receipt side. They have not mentioned check, so that means we have received cash. So here we write on 3rd Jan. From whom we are receiving? Mohan. So to Mohan, the name of the person. How much are we receiving? And just check the amount once again. It's 12,850. So you received from Mohan 12,850 and he allowed you a discount of 150. So 150 in the discount column. Nothing happened to bank column. Okay, let's go to the next transaction. It's a little big sum so that you understand all entries. 4th Jan, cash sales 20,000. So again, when you sell goods, you receive money. So on the receipt side, why we are receiving money? We are receiving money because we have done sales. So we write here 2 sales and the amount in the cash column. I'll check the amount. Cash sales 20,000. So the amount is 20,000. In the cash column, 20,000. Next entry, on 5th Jan paid for rent 4,000. So 5th Jan payment side, because we have paid what we have paid rent. So by rent 4,000. They have not told by check, so I'm taking it in the cash column 4,000. Next is cash purchases 26,000 and that is on 6th Jan. So 6th January. Buy purchases and it is cash purchases, so it will be in the cash column 26,000. Let's see the next after 6th Jan. It is 7th Jan, paid to Harish by check. Paid, so again on the payment side by Harish paid by check, so in the bank column the amount is 10,000. We're done with the 7th date entry. Let's go to the next. 8th Jan, stationery purchase 2,000. So they have not told check, so we'll take it in the cash column. Buy stationery. Why we're taking it on the payment side? Because when we purchase stationery, we basically pay cash. We basically pay cash when we purchase stationery. So we have to take it on the payment side, 2,000 rupees. And in the cash column, because there's no bank account that is being recorded. Next one, on 9th of Jan, goods sold for cash. So we are selling goods, that means we will receive money. So to sale, the date is 9th Jan, and in the cash column, because it's goods sold for cash, 25,000. So we take it here as 25,000. Okay, then the next transaction, 10th Jan, paid salary 6,000. So here on 10th Jan, like paid rent, now we are paying salary. So by salary, they have not mentioned check, so we are taking it in the cash column, 6,000 rupees. Let's go to the next one. Paid to Ram Prakash, discount allowed by him. So paid to Ram Prakash 20,500, discount allowed by him 500. So paid on the payment side, we will take 12th Jan by Ram Prakash, because you're paying how much are we paying? 20,500 and discount is 500. So you will pay 20,500 to Ram Prakash. They're not told by check, so we are paying it from the cash that we have, and 500 discount column because we are getting discount from it. Next, 15 Jan, cash sales 10,000. So 15 Jan again, you go to 15 Jan. Two sales. I think it was 10,000, but just confirm it once. Yes, it's 10,000. Cash sales, so in the cash column 10,000. The next one, 16th Jan, received a check from Premdas and allowed him discount. So you have received, so on the receipt side, to Premdas, received check, so in the bank column 15,600 and discount 400. Sorry, we have to take it in the bank column. Cash column will be nil because we have received check. And here we write the date 16th. Okay. The next one, paid charity 1,000. So on 22nd Jan, by charity. It is not told by check, so we'll take it in the cash column 1,000. Okay, so that was till 22nd Jan. Now 25th Jan, paid to traveling expenses. So 25th Jan, by traveling expenses. How much have we paid? 3,000 rupees. Nothing in the cash column and nothing in the discount column. Okay, the next one, the last entry, which is very important, that is 29 Jan entry, deposited into bank 5,000. So what we will do here, I'll first show you the journal of it and then I'll take you to the cash book. when you deposit into bank, what you deposit cash. And who is receiving? The banker is receiving. So debit the receiver. So entry will be bank account debit to what you're depositing, what is going out, cash is going out. So we have to do bank account debit to cash. So see here, this cash book is cash column, cash as well as bank account. Okay, because we have all the three columns, cash, bank and discount, right? So they are saying cash account debit. So in the, sorry, bank account debit. So in the cash book, we will take it on the debit side. Bank account debit, what we have to write? To cash. See the journal, bank account debit to cash. So this is on 29. Okay, how much have we deposited? 5,000 rupees. So see what is happening in the bank column. I'm writing 5,000 because we're depositing it in the bank. Bank has to receive it. This is receipt side. So on the receipt side, bank has to receive 5,000 because you have deposited 5,000 in bank. Okay, so debit side to cash 5,000. And on the credit side on 29, the same day, it is affecting both bank and cash columns. So it will be both on the debit and the credit side. So here we write by bank, and what is going out of business? Cash is going out of business. When you give 5,000 cash in bank, bank will receive, but from business it will go out. So it is there on both the sides, on the debit side in the bank column, on the credit side in the cash column, because bank receives, so receipt side in the bank column, and company pays cash, so payment side in the cash column. Such kind of entries are called as contra entry. So we write a C in the bracket besides the entry that we have posted, so that it is understood that it's a contra entry and it will affect both the sides of the cash book. So any entry that affects both sides of the cash book with the same amount, we call it as a contra entry. So this is how the problem has to be solved. This problem was also easier, but only one adjustment of contra entry was shown. So we now again total it. So you need to see which side total is higher. Usually debit side total will be higher in a cash book because what you receive will be more than what you have paid. Otherwise you cannot pay that much, right? So it's 25, 35, 45, 46, 47, 48,850 will be the total. Okay, and here 35,600. And discount as it is, you will have to total and keep it. So it is 550. Okay, so same total we will enter it on the other end. I should have entered it a little below because we need to write the balance as well. So let's just take it the same total, you take it on the other side. There is some 48,850, 35,600, and here the total is 500. Okay, now remember one thing, from the highest side total you will have to minus the lowest side total. So from 48,560 I have to minus all this. From 35,600, if I minus 10,000 I get 25,600. Okay, now let's just give me 2 minutes. So we will minus and write the total there. By then you can also try subtracting. So 48,850 minus 4,000 minus 26,000 minus 2,000 minus 6,000 minus 20,500 minus 1,000 minus 3,000 and minus 5,000. So you get it as 8. Sorry, this is 68,850. So from 68,850 we have to minus all that. The total here 20, 20, 40. 40, 50, 50, 60, 65, 66, 67, 68, 850. So that's correct. You minus everything from that. Just give me a moment. So we'll write the answer. You get 1350. So this is the balance. And what we write when we get the balance? We write by balance. Carry it down. And on the other end, and this would be on the last date. So last date of the month is 31st Jan. And on the other end, the first date of the next month, we write to balance brought down 1350 and 25,600. So this is how you will have to solve the problems on cash book. In the upcoming classes, we will have some more sums. These were the two basic sums to make you understand the logic. I hope that was clear.